before. We're going to partner now, though, with the FT to bring you more on this latest auto story. Lex on Bloomberg brings you a sneak peek at the Financial Times' flagship column a day early. Neil Buckley is joining us now from London. Neil, good morning. Daimler had an unhappy existence, I think that's fair to say, in the merger with Chrysler. It ended up selling it. So what is this tie-up going to mean?
Well, both sides are being very clear that this is no repeat of the Daimler-Chrysler deal. In fact, Carlos Ghosn, the Renault chief executive, is even cautioning against calling this an alliance. He's being very specific, saying this is a strategic cooperation between the two companies. It's different from what Daimler-Chrysler was there. They did a full merger. This is just taking small stakes, symbolic stakes of 3% in each other, with no money changing hands because this is being done through a share swap. But it's based on very specific cooperation in very specific areas. And I think this is the new model for the auto industry. Rather than full-scale mergers, what we're seeing is companies trying to share costs, share development costs of new products, share production, while at the same time preserving their own corporate identities and brand identities.
So, I mean, Neil, is it possible to say who's getting the best out of this deal as it's structured right now?
Well, the initial impression is that Daimler needed this deal more than Renault did, and Daimler seems to be getting the better out of it. Daimler really needs to develop small cars, partly to meet emission standards being set by the European Union. It's struggled to do that because it doesn't really have that small car expertise. It doesn't have the scale. What it gets from this alliance is that Renault and Daimler will now work together on jointly developing a platform for the new Renault Twingo car and for the Daimler Smart vehicle, which will be launched in 2013. This is very important to Daimler. Daimler is also getting a joint work on engines for a new premium compact range of cars, which it will launch. But Renault's getting something too. Its Nissan partner, they will get Daimler engines for their Infinity premium brand. So there is something for both sides in this particular deal.
Neil, chances of success?
Well, that, of course, is the key question. We talked about Daimler-Chrysler earlier on, and auto industry mergers and alliances have had a pretty checkered history to date. I think this one, as I said earlier, has perhaps a better chance of success because they are looking at cooperating in very specific areas. But the key thing will be getting the companies to share expertise, share knowledge, when there isn't shared ownership. And of course, Renault-Nissan, which was created 11 years ago, was initially seen as a kind of model for the industry. That hasn't necessarily delivered on all the promise and all the synergies that people had expected from it when it was first set up. So it really remains to be seen whether Renault, Nissan and Daimler can make what's now a three-way partnership work. I think the industry is going to be watching this very closely to see whether this is a model that can work and whether it's the kind of thing that other companies in the industry could make work.
Neil, we thank you as always. Neil Buckley joining us there from London from the FT.